If you think your manager is undermining you, watch this video where we'll cover off how they do it and strategies that you can use to protect yourself. Hi everyone, I'm Alex, founder of Areti Academy and a leader with 12 years experience driving executive compensation, organizational design, product, and I even headed HR M&A for a major bank. I've dealt with leaders at the top of the organization and drafted talent strategies for thousands of employees. And today, I'm going to talk to you about some behaviors which may be a signal that your manager is trying to undermine you. Later on, we'll share some tips on how you can protect yourself. Let's jump in. Now, as many of you watching this video will understand, not every manager has your best interests at heart. Sometimes you just don't click, or they feel threatened by you, or worse, they're new to the group and want to replace you with an ally of theirs. Today, we're going to cover off some strategies they may be using to undermine you and also show you how you can protect yourself. Like it or not, your direct manager has outsized influence over your career. It's important to win them over. Always be respectful, helpful, do good work, be proactive, take the initiative. And most importantly, no matter what you see as their shortcomings, never gossip about them. I have seen many promising careers sunk by gossip. It's a losing proposition, even though we all know it kind of feels great at the time. That said, even the most professional people can have tension with their manager. And while you might not think anything is wrong, if your manager is exhibiting any of the following behaviors, it may be a sign that they're trying to undermine you. As Francis Bacon once said, information is power. Your manager has a big advantage because they have a more direct line to senior leadership than you do. Good managers realize that sharing information is good for the team, as the team will better understand the context behind a request. However, information can also be a weapon. If your manager hoards information from you until the last second, so you're always scrambling and it's difficult to perform, it may be a sign that they are trying to undermine you. However, don't jump to conclusions if this is the only negative behavior they exhibit. It may be that their boss is being slow to download information to them. It's also possible that they're just really busy and they're forgetting to tell you things. The second way your manager may be undermining you is by continually adjusting expectations right when you're about to meet them. For example, at the start of the year, you discuss what it takes to get a promotion. You've done all the extra work, taken on more, demonstrated the capability, done all the things you guys agreed to do, and you have that year-end meeting, and all of a sudden your manager needs more. It could be a sign that they're trying to extract more value from you without offering the promotion and holding up their end of the bargain. Related to moving the goalposts, and another sneaky move by leaders, is setting unrealistically tight deadlines. Oftentimes, there is no reason for this, and it forces you to scramble, often working long hours unnecessarily. To top it all off, I've seen that when people complain about this arrangement, they're gaslighted, made to feel like they're lazy or inefficient workers. It's a very insidious way to knock somebody down. Another nasty tactic, which is terrible for the team culture and embarrassing for you, is when they undermine you publicly. This can happen when you're presenting on a project, especially in front of other important leaders, and out of nowhere, they start publicly questioning your approach or poking holes in the work you've done in front of everyone. This is designed to make you look incompetent in front of other leaders and your peers. And this behavior from your manager is especially insidious if you've already ran the approach by them privately before the meeting, got their approval, and yet they still roast you publicly. The fifth bad manager behavior, and this one can be especially difficult to spot, is credit stealing. This happens when you share some ideas with your manager or you score a big win in a project, and instead of sharing the credit with you, your manager presents the idea or the achievements to senior leaders as their own. This can be especially hard to spot because you're not in the meeting when they meet with their manager and other senior leaders. And it takes away important wins from your career column. Finally, and this is a very sad behavior, but your manager can push you into isolation. This is when they keep you away from important projects and pile on low value administrative work that does not give you visibility or opportunity. It makes me think of people who used to get marooned on remote islands by their crew. This can be especially frustrating for you personally because you're not learning or being given opportunities to learn. It's also damaging to your career, as if you're not putting points on the board by contributing to important projects and important work, you're vulnerable if there are cuts. Now, I know what you're thinking. These are awful behaviors, and they can really deflate an otherwise amazing workplace. Alex, if my manager is doing this to me, what should I do? Here are 3 ways that you can fight back. Now, this first one, I can already hear you groaning and your eyes rolling, but document. Make a record of bad behavior. Be specific, be factual. Write down exact dates, times, and locations of incidents. Clearly know what was said, what was done, and do not be vague. Write down the effect it had on the work and anyone around who may have witnessed the incident. And save a record of any related communications. For example, your manager emailing later to clarify what they meant. It's really important to document any incidents promptly after they occur and do it in a way that someone completely unfamiliar with your group, like HR, would be able to understand what happened and follow. Secondly, and this may seem counterintuitive at first, but try increasing communication and alignment with your manager. After important meetings, email them to confirm their instructions. Confirm timelines, goals, key metrics. This will help keep you both better aligned. Remember, some managers may be shifting expectations not because they're malicious, but because they're overwhelmed and may not remember what they told you before. So help them out with a summary that you can both keep as a record to foster alignment. Finally, if bad behavior is particularly entrenched, you may need to learn your company's HR processes. Specifically, make sure you understand your company's anti-bullying policy. Learn who to contact and how to report incidents. If things come to a head and you have to file a formal complaint, remember to be specific and include the details we discussed earlier, including parties involved, dates, times, witnesses, a description of the incident, and how it affected the work. You should know that once you file the complaint, investigations are typically handled by HR, and your employer is required to respond within a certain timeline, typically about a week. The company may end up taking interim measures like changing work arrangements to protect you during a broader investigation. Finally, if I can give you one last piece of advice here, if your manager is bad enough that you have to file a formal complaint or just exhibits these bad behaviors, do your best to try and move. Rather than waste so much productive time and energy trying to win a fight, move to an area and a leader where you can do productive work, have some opportunities, and truly show them the value you can create and what you can do. Remember that sometimes walking away is much easier than digging in and slagging it out with someone who is more senior and potentially much more connected than you are. Hi everyone, if you found this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button below so you never miss out on fresh, practical advice like this. At Areti Academy, we are all about cutting through the noise and giving you practical, actionable advice. If there are behaviors you think I've missed, or if you have some other suggestions on how to cope, add them to the comments below. Let's share all our experiences collectively so we can all benefit.